Okay, we are back for the sixth and final installment of our Texas Chainsaw Massacre Marathon. There, I said it again. And we have. Now, I know that there are 9 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, but we're not going to watch all 9. We're watching these 6. And we're calling it good, okay? There's another remake. We don't need 2 remakes. And something else. I don't even know what it is. This is 2022's Netflix original, I believe. Texas Chainsaw Massacre without the on the front. The Face of Madness Returns. Based on characters like Kim Hinkle and Toby Hooper. Directed by David Blue Garcia. Who's, from what I understand, an up-and-coming director. I don't really know what else he's directed, but I guess I'll look into that. Yes. Netflix original.
The best thing Netflix has put out in a while, besides Stranger Things.
And you guys already know that I canceled my Netflix. Not because of this movie. Or Stranger Things. I kind of liked what I saw of Stranger Things. It's just for the same price I got 3 other channels.
Well, Netflix is... There's so much to watch and nothing good, usually.
Yeah, that's what I had. I have 30 films bookmarked on Shudder alone. And I had 2 on Netflix, and both of them dropped off before I could watch them. That's the reason. Okay, this one... A 2022 legendary / Exerbia / bad hombre. If I can speak. Bad hombre. Here's what I need. So.
Oh, let's cheers. What is this again?
This is a Pisco Old Fashioned.
Which is really good.
I told you I was going to be drinking those all summer. I wasn't lying. That's the new summer drink right there. I don't even care if I get more slow gin. As long as I have that. Okay. Directed by David Blue Garcia. We covered that. There weren't any big name stars in this movie. And again, like Leatherface, this was filmed in Europe.
Although there weren't any big names in it, I feel like there were some actors that did stand out that I feel like
there were definitely standouts, and some of you younger kids might know people in this movie, and I'm sorry that I didn't get them all, but I thought they'd be on the poster like they normally are. But where that's not a one sheet, it's a poster developed for I guess what's essentially now a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
And I cover made-for-TV movies. It's not like I turn my nose up at them. Okay, here's what we have. A pair of young real estate developers arrive in a mostly abandoned Texas town that looks more like a Western movie set than an actual town. There they come across a few stragglers, namely a mechanic. Oh, pardon me.
The mechanic was hot, I gotta say.
I don't remember, but...
You could take my word for it.
I'll take her word for it that he was hot. A mechanic named Richter and an old lady who claims to have a deed for the old hotel or whatever it is she lives in. It turns out that the old lady has been caring for none other than Leatherface. And he seems to have come around and is being a model citizen and not killing the mechanic, who's the only other guy in town. Now, was there other people in town?
The sheriffs. But you don't even know where they live.
Yeah, they were from the next town.
Yeah.
Yeah, other people in the county, but yeah, I think it was just the mechanic and the old lady in the town. Okay, but that doesn't last for long. The stress of having to give up the hotel when she knows she has a deed. The old lady collapses, her ticker quits, and down she goes. And en route to the hospital, she dies. Leatherface's murderous tendencies resurface.
It was gruesome too. Like, it was very suspenseful. Like,
Yeah.
It makes you like cringe. Like, I don't know. It's the kind of horror movie that I watched a second time because I liked it so much.
He kills in the ambulance. It's the ambulance driver. Anyway, he makes himself a new dead skin mask. That's a Slayer song, by the way. He makes himself a new dead skin mask, and our poor gal there, I can't remember what her name was.
She was forgetful, let's be honest.
Yeah, the girlfriend of one of the kids that came into town. Not the two main ones that are running the auction, but yeah, she's like running for her life. Goes on a rampage that starts in the ambulance and moves towards town. Not to worry, Sally Hardesty is back from the grave, and now she's a badass Texas Ranger. As Leatherface slaughters the bus full of prospective buyers, so they're going to have an auction, the bus shows up with prospective buyers.
I thought that was ingenious to film it that way, especially because all the kids were on their phones and they're like filming it for like TikTok and stuff. So it was very felt like today. So I think that's, I don't know, it was nice.
Definitely so. And I don't believe I've seen, I've seen Bush crash movies, and of course we've all seen Speed. But I don't think I've seen a slasher movie where the killing a lot took place on a bus. So it was new. Sally arrives in town for a showdown with her old nemesis, Leatherface. But who will win? I don't remember, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go ahead and watch it. Do you want to go first?
On the review?
Or do you want to save it?
No, I will. I'm going to give it 4 stars.
Okay. So I'll give you my rundown, which she can then refute. So for me, this movie was totally ridiculous. Not because it was a sequel, although the name confuses the issue. By calling it Texas Chainsaw Massacre, people were expecting a 4th remake. Or a 3rd remake and the original. And not because 50 years have passed and Leatherface is as spry as a young athlete, although that was a little problematic for me. He's what now, 68?
I mean, doesn't every 6 to 8-year-old have that kind of like go get him? Like,
I saw a movie where one guy was like still surfing at 90, but it's one guy.
Yeah.
Not even because Sally is back after being killed and not killed, but after dying in 1990. No, for me, the most incredulous thing in this film was a bunch of college kids having the means to buy or host or conduct this auction, and a bus full of other college kids as the main investors in this endeavor. Okay?
I can totally get behind that, because what kind of 20-year-old has that kind of money?
Right. In real life, we all know that this would be a bunch of old cowboys in Cadillacs with the horns on the front of the hood in Texas doing this kind of auction, and most of the buyers would be those same cowboys. So I give this one a 1. And you can go ahead and defend it.
I just really like that it was very suspenseful, and I feel like the writing for the actors, it really made you feel for them, especially at the end when you thought they were both escaping, but then that thing happened. And then you're like, what? Like,
we did get to know some of these people.
Yeah.
And, you know, well, it wasn't a total loss. I mean, I didn't give it a 0. And I have given a few zeros even recently here. But, yeah, I think, like I said, there's a continuity problem with the whole series. And this film just added to that problem instead of trying to tie anything together and wrap it up in a nice package, maybe to end with, and maybe that's the point. We want to have a sequel to this. Now, I've got to point out here.
I do hope there is a sequel. Yeah,
I'll watch it. I want to point out here that this was Ivy's first Texas Chainsaw movie. So she viewed this with a whole different set of eyes than I did after seeing almost everything that had come before it. I hadn't seen 2017 Leatherface before, but I had seen 1, 2, 3, the 2003 remake, all before I saw this movie. And this was her first glimpse into the Texas Chainsaw world. So I can kind of see how she would view it completely different than me. So, but, oh, I got to throw this.
I'm giving it 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up
and
from
4
Ivy.
stars.
And 4 stars. David Blue Garcia's Texas Chainsaw Massacre without the on the front.
Yeah.
2022. So that's going to wrap it up. And that's going to wrap it up for this season. The season of the witch is over. I asked y'all on Twitter, I said, hey, help me come up with a name for next season. What are we going to call it? I mean, we can't call it 2 Electric Boogaloo because it's season 4. But I will be back, and maybe Ivy will join me some more.
I will. I'll be back. It's been a lot of fun.
In October. Likely, if I can, on Halloween, just like last year. We premiered on Halloween. And I'd kind of like to do that every year. So we'll be back next year. No. In October. It's still this year.
Yeah.
So, good night, kids. Pleasant dreams.
Go watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the marathon, you guys. You will not regret it.
Yeah. Watch them all. Even the ones we didn't. Maybe even that American Massacre that Google thinks is part of the series, even though I'm not sure it is.
There is that one that's like a prequel too, that's like the beginnings of Texas Chainsaw, which I didn't even finish watching it. It was... Yeah. Anyways.
Watch them all.
Yeah, watch them all.
Why not? We'll get there. Good night, kids.